Hey YouTube. Hope you guys have had a good weekend. I'm just working on getting some videos uploaded, and I wanted to take a minute to talk to you about a little thing that came up earlier today on one of my other videos with one of my subscribers. You know, I don't really go too far with letting people that bash other people onto my channel. I normally just delete their comments and block them. But I try to do that sparingly, you know. And for the most part, I love all my subscribers because most of you guys really hardly ever have anything negative to say. Most of the times when there's a negative comment left, I go look and it's just somebody that was searching through videos, ran across mine, they slam a comment out there and they're gone, you know. Very rarely do my actual subscribers do that, but today there was somebody that had done that, come along and just made some random bullshit comment about me smoking, and I can't remember what the other thing was, I don't know. My response was just simply, cool, don't watch my channel, you know? I mean, it's simple to me. I personally, I can't grasp or fathom, and all this is getting somewhere, so hold on. I can't grasp or fathom people who go around watching people's videos that they don't like or agree with. For example, you know, I'm not into karate, so why am I going to go watch a bunch of karate videos? You know, so my response, like I said, was simply just, cool, don't watch my channel. And one of my subscribers, hello, you know who you are, he came on, I think it's a he came on and he slammed me a little bit, you know, made reference to the way that I talk to people supporting my AdSense, which, you know what, guys, I've had my AdSense account for about 3 years, and I've never made it to my $100 to be able to get the first check. So, you know, I guess there's a lot of people have misconceptions about those of us that have steady videos out there. They think that we're doing it for AdSense, and that's fine, whatever. You know, I'm not shy. I tell you on some of my videos, hey, I'm on eBay. You want to help me out, go to eBay and buy something from me. But that's neither here nor there. I didn't even respond to that part of his comment. But anyway, he was a little aggressive at me for talking about one of the people that I'm subscribed to and calling him crazy. So I was curious. I was like, well, what made you subscribe to this person if you think they're crazy? Because again, I just can't fathom wasting my time watching people that I don't agree with. It's just very confusing to me. But this particular person, you know, I know that a lot of you that are my subscribers, maybe if you even saw the comments, you were probably like, why is she talking to this guy? But I go a lot more than maybe it appears sometimes. I go by the rule of judge not lest you be judged. And I could tell that this person, you know, has something to offer. And I know that karmically speaking and with the universe, people are put across our paths oftentimes for a reason. So, I asked him a question or two, and long story short, this person is not a prepper. Well, they don't see themselves as a prepper. I do after I process the information, but what this person does is watches us preppers, and it's almost like casing out a joint in a way. I mean, I don't want to give this person negative I don't want you to have a negative impression of this person, because we don't know this person from hide nor hair, and I get what he's saying. I'm assuming it's a he. But what this person does is watches other preppers so he doesn't have to prep. She doesn't have to prep. Because their plan is, when the shit hits the fan, they will not be a target by having preps. They're going to go get somebody else's preps. And so their prepping is more preparing to hit preppers. And, you know, we've all heard and at times discussed the fact that, you know, if you're going to store up food, you're going to have to defend it. And that's very clear. I think that most of us know that. I know that there are a few disillusioned people out there, and hell, maybe it's a bigger percentage than I give credit for, but I know that there's a percentage of preppers out there that think, oh no, if somebody comes to my door, I'm going to be nice and loving, and God will speak to their hearts, and I'll give them a can of soup and they'll go away. And reality, folks, is that if the shit really hit the fan, I think the other half of us knows that that's not really the case. That it will be one of those situations of we will have to fight until we can't fight anymore. And God's will actually be if we're ever taken or not at that particular moment. And again, this is another reason why a lot of smart preppers not only plan out the bug-in scenario long-term, but also plan the short-term bug-out bag run-and-go, learning survival skills and things of that nature, which on my end, that's what I do. I try to plan in just about every scenario I can think of. If I can stay home, boom. If I have to leave, boom. How am I going to make it here? How am I going to make it there? You know, I really try to give an overall round view of it. And, you know, no, I don't have a bunker underground. I've seen a lot of other preppers that have got 5 and 10 times the food stock that I have, even though non-preppers come and see what I have and they're like, oh my God, you've got 3 years worth of food. Well, that depends on how many people are here. But if it was just me, yeah, it'd be 3 years worth of food. And I just wanted to make that the point to you that what this person's negative started off as negative comments towards me and how I treat you, my subscribers, which I pray and hope that that was a misjudgment on his part, but and please let me know if you all feel that I treat you negatively. But as the conversation carried on, I began to understand, even though I knew it, it came a little more full circle that there's another side of preppers. There's a whole other group of preppers. And these preppers are the guys like this one who are saying, I'm not going to be the one that you're going to come after. I'm going to be the one going after you. And, you know, I would like to thank him for that reminder and that lesson. I don't think this is a person that I would sit down at a coffee shop and enjoy a bagel with. I certainly, you know, want everybody to be able to get through. Everybody that can, you know, I want us all to get through this. But we all talk about marauders, and it's not just the people that didn't prepare, who weren't expecting it, who ignored it, and then they found themselves caught in a situation. There are actually people who plan to hit the preppers so they don't have to, so they won't be the target. And, you know, the hurricane scenario with Sandy is a pretty good example. And Katrina, looters is what, you know, they're referring to them as. Now, these guys obviously are not in a end of the world scenario, in a world without rule or law, but they see a neighborhood that's been evacuated and quarantined, and what are they doing? They sneak in there to steal TVs and stuff. Now, this person was not talking about stealing TVs, I can guarantee you that. So, but it's not the exact same mentality, but I think a lot of times, a lot of us tend to think of only that looter group that will come out once all is desperate, and it's not for any reason other than just the fact that they ran out of, you know, food or whatever. So, again, you know, a lot of us put our world out there for you in YouTube land to see. We do these channels to invite you into our homes, invite you into our lives, and some of us are smart enough that the things we show you are only what we feel you need to see. And there are things that obviously the smart preppers do not show or talk about. And a lot of people that are extreme preppers might look at my channel and say, well, she's not really prepared, but you don't really know, you know? So I'm putting a warning out there, I guess, basically, that this person brought to us, to our attention, and again, thank you for sharing the message, that you don't want to put all your secrets out there, and you also don't want to be disillusioned and think that there's not somebody out there whose prepping plans are to attack your preps. And there's a few people that I'm subscribed to that I've noted on several occasions. I mean, they go so far as to, you see their house number, or now I've been pretty open about the general area that I'm in, but the county that I live in is very large, and I'm not in the mainstream part of the county. You would have to know where I live to know where I live. And so I'm kind of comfortable in a lot of ways. Sometimes I get a lackadaisical, but there's just that other side of prepping. And I just wanted to, because I was reminded of it today, I wanted to remind you. And those preppers that I'm subscribed to, that do have the mentality that, oh, we'll all come together, I can assure you, you won't. And there will be people that you once thought of as buddies or pals or friends, and it's not even a question. They will be at your door. So you have to be prepared for the fact that if you're spending your life savings making your house a grocery store, and forgetting about the artillery, and forgetting to run your exercises, and forgetting to make sure that you can go all day long on foot uphill carrying what you need, you're missing a lot of it. Things like storms and an earthquake, things that are in isolated areas, and things where the rest of the country will be coming to your aid soon, so to say. It's not as big of a threat or a deal. What we're talking about here is the shit hit the fan scenario, you know. And I just wanted to bring it to your attention, you know, and I wanted to say that you know, if I was called out because I'm disrespectful to any of you, my subscribers, if that is legitimate, then I do apologize. I think that it's wrong, but I could be wrong, and so I should take the message that was given to me and, you know, put it into some kind of thought process and just look inside a little bit, which I did this afternoon. So aside from that, I don't agree with this person, that, you know, but I get it, and I think you should be open-minded enough to respect that this was brought to our attention today, that there are those preppers. So anyway, just some happy, cheerful thoughts for the day. So I hope you guys are doing good, and I hope everybody's getting ready for the wonderful holiday coming up. And I hope you're ready to spend it with some friends and family. And I will talk to you all again real soon, I'm sure. Have a good day.